Hola y bienvenida a Enfresp. En este video vamos a repasar todo lo que hemos cubierto en la unidad 1. In this video, we're going to revise everything we've covered in Unit 1. This is a good opportunity to check you've taken everything in. If there's something you do not know or you're unsure about, you'll know which videos to re-watch to gain the knowledge needed. Before we begin, please can I ask you to like this video, subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications. Okay, the first thing we learned were different ways to say hello. How many greetings can you remember? You should be able to say hello, which is hola. Good day, which is buenos días. The formal version of good day, buen día. Good afternoon, buenas tardes. And good evening, which is buenas noches. We then learned different ways to ask how someone is. Can you remember the 4 different ways we covered? Let's go over the formal way first. So, how are you is ¿Cómo está? And can you make that informal? ¿Cómo estás? Can you recall how to say how's it going? ¿Qué tal? And you learn what's up. ¿Qué pasa? Let's go through responses to how are you now. See if you can respond to me in Spanish. Buen día, ¿cómo está? Hola, ¿qué pasa? Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches, ¿qué tal? Hopefully you came up with responses. If you came up with 4 different responses, then muy bien. You could have answered, I am well, thanks. Bien, gracias. You might have answered, very well, thanks. Muy bien, gracias. You might have said, great. Genial. You could have answered, so-so. Más o menos. You could have answered, what's up? ¿Qué pasa? Or you might have said nothing. Nada. And you might have said everything's good. Todo bien. We then ran through the pronouns. See if you can list them off in the following order. I, you, informal and single. He, she, you, formal and single. We, you, informal and plural. They, male or mixed group. They, females. And then you, formal and plural. Hopefully you found this quick and easy. You should have said yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. We then looked at conjugating the AR ending verb hablar, to speak. Can you remember what a root word is? So So you take the AR ending off hablar to get the root word. See if you can run through the pronouns, adding the correct conjugation of hablar to form grammatically correct phrases. Pause the video here and play when you're ready. So you should have said, yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, ella habla, and usted habla. Then nosotros hablamos, vosotros habláis, ellos hablan, ellas hablan, and ustedes hablan. This conjugation applies to all AR ending regular verbs. Hopefully you remember that you can drop the pronoun. What exceptions would make you say the pronoun? For clarification or for emphasis. This time we're going to drop the pronoun but follow the pattern of hablar to speak and conjugate the verb mirar to watch. Pause the video here and note the conjugation down. You should have got miro, miras, mira, miramos, mirais, miran. Let's do one more. This time, note down the conjugation for ayudar to help. Pause the video here and note them down again. So this time you should have ayudo, ayudas, ayudar, ayudamos, ayudais, ayudan. We then looked at the reflexive verb llamarse, to call oneself. How do we know this is a reflexive verb? Se, se on the end, tells us it's reflexive. And what is a reflexive verb? A reflexive verb is where you do the action to yourself. See if you can remember the conjugation of llamarse. Pause the video and play once you've noted them down. So the conjugation is me llamo, te llamas, se llama, nos llamamos, os llamáis, se llaman. Hopefully you got all the conjugation correct and you remembered all the reflexive words. Do you remember how to say, what is your name? See if you can ask me what my name is now. Me llamo Nicole. ¿Y tú cómo te llamas? Can you remember the two ways to say pleased to meet you? You could have said mucho gusto or encantada if you're female, encantado if you're male. I asked your name informally. If you used formal language, como se llama, that's perfect too. Let's do a little translation at this point. Can you translate the following conversation into English, please? Pause the video here and play once you're ready. So the conversation translates as, hello, how are you? So, and you? Everything's good, thanks. What's your name? My name is Abeja, which is bee in Spanish. And you, what's your name? Now you haven't seen también before, but I'm hoping you could work out from the context what it means. The last speech bubble translates as, I am called Abeja or bee too. Pleased to meet you. Next, we learned how to conjugate the irregular verb ser to be. You can see the English conjugation here. See if you can write the Spanish translations down. Pause the video and play again when you're ready. So hopefully you wrote the following. Soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. We also covered some English-speaking nationalities. Let's see if you can remember how to say the following in Spanish. I am English, said by a male. Soy inglés. You are Scottish, said to one woman informally. Eres escocesa. We are Welsh males. Somos galeses. This has been pluralized because it's referring to more than one person. They are British, about a mixed group. Son británicos. She is American. Es americana. You are Australian, said to a group of females informally. Sois australianas. Let's do another translation, this time into Spanish. Can you translate the following conversation into Spanish, please? Pause the video and play when you're ready. So you should have got the following. Hola, ¿qué tal? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Qué pasa? Todo bien. ¿Cómo os llamáis? Nos llamamos Pedro y David. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Juliana. Mucho gusto. Soy americana. Somos galeses. Okay, we have a few more points to revise, and the first is the conjugation of the verb estar, to be. Do you remember when to use ser to be and when to use estar to be? Ser is for permanent conditions and estar is for temporary conditions. So you can see the English conjugation of to be again. Pause the video and see if you can note down the conjugation for estar, to be, and then play the video when you're ready. So you should have written estoy, estás, está, estamos, estáis, están. Now let's review the formation of negative sentences. Do you remember the word that is added to make a sentence negative? The word no is added before the verb. So you know how to say I am well? Bien. Can you remember how to say I am not well? No estoy bien. You learned the conjugation of hablar, to speak. Can you say I don't speak Welsh? No hablo Gales. Can you say she is not called Ariana? No se llama Ariana. Can you say they are not Australian, referring to males? No son australianos. Let's translate another conversation into English. Have a look at this. See if you can translate it. Pause the video, play once you're ready. Okay, so this translates as, good evening, how are you? Good evening, I'm well. And you? Great, thanks. Do you speak Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. I speak English. Are you British? No, I am not British. I am Australian. And finally, you learned some ways to say goodbye. See how many of them you can remember now. You learned goodbye, which is adios. Bye, which is ciao. See you soon, which is hasta pronto. See you later, which is hasta luego. See you tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Have a good day. Que tengas un buen día. Or you could shorten have a good day to feliz día. And you might recall see you next time. Hasta la próxima. Okay, let's finish this revision of Unit 1 with one more translation into Spanish. Look at the following conversation and translate it into informal Spanish. Pause the video and play when you're ready. This is a much longer conversation and hopefully you translated it as follows. Buenos tardes, ¿cómo estáis? No estamos bien. ¿Qué tal? Más o menos. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Álvaro. ¿Y cómo se llama? Se llama Clara. Es inglesa y soy escocés o escocesa. ¿Eres británico? No soy británico, soy americano o americana. Hablo francés. No hablamos francés. Hasta luego. Adiós. Feliz día. That is everything we covered in Unit 1 Spanish with Enfresp languages. If you found anything particularly tricky, I recommend you re-watch the related video. Next week, we'll revise everything from Unit 2 before beginning a new unit of Spanish. For now, please like this video, subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications, and I'll see you next time. Adios!